What's up, guys? Welcome back. So pretty much, guys, as you guys seen on the last video, we ended up pretty much fabricating the charge pipes and the up pipes for the CB7 Accord. Jose, my homie, the guy that tows my car, he came yesterday and picked up the car, and honestly we're just going to keep progress going today. Today's video is going to be a lot of just getting to work and small snippets of what's going on. We do have a game plan me and Dana came up with, and this is pretty much what we're going to be doing. So I am going to be concentrating on the all-wheel drive EK sedan as far as tearing it apart, taking off everything. Reason being is because there is a lot of titanium hardware in here, and I kind of just want to preserve it. Dana actually just recommended that also that I do this, and the main reason being is just because, again, you know, hardware, fresh paint, stuff like that. Dana's just used to grabbing stuff and getting stuff pulled out. And this is a car that I do have a lot of money into. It's stuff for me, you know, a lot of time and devotion into it. So I don't want to scratch it up because I am very anal when it comes down to that. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, like I said, I'm going to concentrate on here. And then Dana, in the meantime, is actually going to be concentrating on tearing apart the K24 RBV3. So he's going to go ahead and take off everything that isn't going to be needed, such as, you know, the torque converter flywheel, stuff like that, you know, throttle bottom, manifold, alternator, stuff like that, because there has to be a lot of parts that has to be interchanged from this swap to this swap, because this is a JDM motor, the thermostat housing and the water pump housing, all that has to be swapped over. And then this is a K24 where it doesn't have the oil cooler, so I gotta go buy a block off for that. But before we can get started on any of that stuff, I have to actually run to Harbor Freight and pick up some engine stands, and that way we can hang both motors up, so that when the motor comes out, we put it on the stands, we clean them, we do what we got to do, because I do have to put a fresh coat of paint onto the K24. So pretty much, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut up and just get straight to work actually, and go get the engine stands and come back and get grinding. So yeah, we'll see you guys when we get back. Alrighty guys, so pretty much as you guys seen, me and Dana ended up pulling out the swap. It's been a couple of hours, and honestly it's just because we have to be so careful with the engine bay. It's one thing that he didn't want to do. He didn't want to do it himself. That's why he stuck to doing the K24, disassembling it and so on and so forth. As you guys can see now, this is the K20Z3, and what I want to do next is pretty much open it up to see how much damage there was to it, how bad the crank walk is to it, if the thrust washers are truly messed up, because that is going to help me figure out the next move for this engine. The main reason why is because I do have a bunch of parts lined up here. These are the valves and all that stuff. I'm waiting for my brother to give me the cams so that I can put on for the turbo build, because again, I am going to try to go for a higher number power after this dyno session. Once we get the new K24 in, basically the goal is to at least get 450, 500 horsepower if possible on E85. If we can get that number, I'll be happy with it, and I'll leave it for a couple of years, a year depending on however it lasts me, and then meanwhile still save up my pennies and start building this engine depending if this motor is good. But pretty much since the last clip, as you guys see, was pull the engine out, we've just honestly been maintaining a little bit of progress here and there. Dana's inside right now eating dinner, and what I ended up doing was coming out here earlier. I did pressure wash all this, I cleaned it, I detailed it, and made sure that it was no dirt and anything that was in there. And then I ended up putting a coat of cast aluminum paint on it to match the transmission, so that way it will look uniform in the engine bay once again. I'm probably going to have to give this transmission another coat, or just touch up the other spots that is needed, so that way it doesn't look off. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way I am. I want it to look good, and I want it to match. So it's going to take a good cleaning. I'm going to get a rag, some brake cleaner or whatever, give it a coat of paint, take off all the hardware if I have to again, and then clean it all up once and for all. But not too bad for a couple of hours work. We've been out here since, I think it's like 11 o'clock at morning, and right now it's about 6 o'clock in the evening. So for about 7 hours, we pulled it out. Again, took apart 2 engines, put them on stands, and as you guys can see, we're just going to go ahead and continue making progress. But what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick, meanwhile Dana's eating, I'm going to go ahead and do a full reset in the garage, so that way everything is clean, and that way when we get back out here, we can just continue making progress on disassembling this engine while he also assembles the other engine. So we're still waiting for a few more parts also, which is the rear main seal, the pilot bushing, the pilot bearing, and I'm also waiting for a delete plate here from TrackTough. I'm trying to see if I can pick it up tomorrow, so that way I can start putting that onto the K24, as it does not utilize a oil cooler. So yeah, little by little progress is being made, and that's all we're gonna hope for, man. So stay tuned for more. Alrighty guys, so as you guys seen in the laps, basically me and Dana have been working on both engines, and pretty much the K24 is fully stripped down. We're going to go ahead and pretty much take the chain, we're going to keep the chain from here. We are going to take the tensioner from that one along with the oil pump. That oil pump, it is already cut for it, for the K24 and the Z3, because they share the same kind of pump. So this one, I cut it myself so I know it fits. So we're going to put this one on along with the chain, right? This bottom chain we're using?
We're going to use this bottom chain. Probably going to keep the same tensioner, since, I mean, they're both used. They're about the same anyway. So new chain and the pump. And the hardware, witness tray.
And then on this one over here, we got to take off this squirter here, so that way we can block it off, so that way we can have oil pressure. If you don't block it off and you leave it like this, you will not get any oil pressure, and basically you'll be losing oil pressure. It'll show. So that's what we've done so far. So we're going to continue making progress. Hopefully we can get this done
The goal for tonight, our goal was actually already met, where we were supposed to have both of them on the stand, but now we're going to go ahead and continue moving forward and get them timed, so that way this one can probably go in by tomorrow, because tomorrow I have to pick up the rear main seal and also the pilot bushing and the Honda bond, so that we can basically seal everything back up. So as long as we get that done, we're golden. Alright guys, so remember how we said we were going to look into it and see what was going on with the engine and stuff like that? Dana found the issue. So if you look right there on the side of the wall, you see the little silver piece right there? That is the thrust washer. The thrust washer is actually riding on the wall now, so it's riding on the crank. You can see the gap here on the crank, then you can see the gap over here, which is not supposed to, because now it's just pushing the crank this way. So it's very tight on one side, as you can see right there. That's where it's supposed to be at. But yeah, at least now we found the issue. The motor might be savable still, maybe a new crank. I was talking to Dana about it, and he says probably with the new crank and new thrust washers, it could probably still be safe. So that's something I gotta take it when I take it to the machine shop, get it inspected and see what they tell me, because that's the only way I'll be able to find out. If not, then I'm gonna have to find a new block, or if not, I'll just buy another K24 and build that one for this one. But we'll see how it goes. For now, I'll take this into consideration later on, see if we find anything else, and see what they tell me. But yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
I mean, realistically, if this motor is not going to be put together for quite some time, you can even take it apart yourself and just to see what the thrust washer looks like. I'm just saying, I'm kind of curious too.
Yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. But for right now, I think this is where we're going to end it at right here for today, and I'll update you guys tomorrow of what we've accomplished. So goal is, again, get it timed, get all this swapped over to here, and if we can get that motor done pretty much timed up, so we can start assembling it tomorrow.
Oh, hi, it's me again, Dana. How you guys doing?
Peace.
No motors.
So this is what we're saying. You have to put that plug that port out.
In order to
Maintain
build pressure,
Yeah.
retain pressure for the oil.
So I guess Dana also went through it and also you fixed the gearing on it. Kind of resurfaced it a little bit, because there was a little bit of pitting from the old material being in it. It wasn't bad though, so we were still able to save it.
Yeah, it's like sandpaper, if anything. It wasn't too bad. But I did clean it up a little bit with some very high grit sandpaper. Super duper lubricated to make sure it's nice and smooth and it spins freely, which it did.
Alright guys, so we're putting ARP head studs on it. We just did one off camera and Dana did on his. Basically the way we're doing it individually instead of taking off the head, so that we don't have to replace the head gasket. The head gasket is not needed, as it had low miles, it had great compression across the board. So there's no point of doing the whole head gasket and removing everything. If I was gonna do the head gasket, then yeah, we would go ahead and just take it all apart. So as you can see, we're doing one at a time. Basically, we started off from here for the middle point. He broke it off, installed a new ARP on it, and we torqued it down to 80, and then from there we went to 86, just because he doesn't like odd numbers. So we did it that way. Plus it's going to be boosted, so it will have that little bit more torque to it. So this is what we're doing. We're just making a little bit of progress. That is the stock one that's going on now. That's the second one. This is the first one that went in here. Now we're going across to the second one, and he's going to put some lube on it. And this has been done before. Hunter Tune has actually done it on his video. That's where he was looking onto. And we did talk to other people also too that did say that it's not needed to actually take off the head. I talked to Brandon, We Have Shit Up. He's the one that actually recommended it to me, saying replace it one by one instead of having to do a whole head gasket if the engine is good, which the engine is good. So all he's doing is putting one stud in now, basically like hand tight with the impact, but it's not torquing it down. And then from there, he's going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a snug once it's fully locked down. And then from there we go ahead and put the washer on, and then we put the bolt on, and then from there we torque it down to 80, then we go to 86. It only really calls for 80 just because of the fact that that's what ARP says, but we are boosting it, so we'd rather give it that little extra torque. So we're gonna go ahead and finish it all up and get everything assembled, and then hopefully start assembling the rest of the stuff and get everything hopefully in the engine today, or engine bay today actually. Alrighty guys, so as you guys seen, pretty much the last update was when we were just working on the engine. I was cleaning up, I did put the timing chain cover on, I did everything else, and pretty much me and Dana actually struggled for about an hour.
Whole minute, man.
Trying to get the transmission on to, basically mounting the transmission to the clutch and to the block itself. We had the same issue when we first put the swap in the car. Fuck, what? A year and a half ago? A year ago?
A year ago?
About a year ago, and it was the same thing. It's, for some reason, it doesn't line up with the pilot bearing, and the transmission is just very hard to get in line with it. So we don't know what the issue is or what the cause is, but at the end, we just made things work. We started kind of finessing it in, and we got it to pretty much mount up. So right now, you guys are gonna see pretty much the engine and transmission and everything is fully buttoned up. Harness is on, water pump, alternator, EP pulley, starter, thermostat housing, everything is buttoned up. So for the most part, everything is on. But right now we're actually going to call it quits for tonight because it is getting very late here, and we honestly skipped dinner. So we're gonna go ahead and go inside, eat dinner, and just relax for the rest of the night, because another thing is I have to clean this garage. Everything is everywhere. You can see on top of my toolbox over there, there's a bunch of bolts, hardware, everything up there. My welding table is a disaster, and then my casting couch is also a disaster. So I want to make sure everything can get clean, reset, so that way tomorrow we could get back onto the car. But that unfortunately is going to be on the next video. It looks like Dana has something to say, so go ahead.
Clean workspace makes things more efficient when you can find everything instead of tripping over everything. So we just want to reset with putting everything back into the home spot and clear space to make sure that we get this engine in without taking a ton of time to do so. Should be pretty easy to do.
So pretty much, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and reset and get everything reorganized, so that way hopefully on the next video, or we should say not hopefully, on the next video we'll have the engine put in and also have hopefully a first start, and then we can start letting everything run with the new K24 engine. So again guys, like I said in previous videos, this wasn't going to hold me back. Unfortunately we suffered something on that motor, but it is what it is. We found out the issue. Thrust washers are no good. Now I got to send it to the engine, my builder, and see if it's going to be good or not. But we'll figure that out in a later time. But for right now I'm really stoked to be able to have the K24 in it now, and hopefully we can make some good power. But pretty much guys, with that being said, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time.
Now hopefully it will make some good power.
Hopefully.